me a moment with your friend. I've never been on trial for my thoughts before.
Welcome to the Only One Mic podcast called J-Rob, Brooklyn, Dre. J-Rob is in the building. How you doing, fellas?
What up, what up?
What's good?
All right, so we're going to discuss this cop getting off for shooting Eddie Irizarry in Philadelphia, and also what the heck is going on with these females in this rap thing, man. It's just disgusting, man. Disgusting. But fellas, let's jump right into it, y'all. Jay, what's going on with you, man? I'm hearing you having like a real... I was walking my dog earlier, and Jay, hit me up, said, yo, man, I told him, I'm walking my dog before the show, and so I'm coming back. We're going to do the show as soon as I come back. And he was like, I'm glad you mentioned that, because he has something about dog owners. And I'm like, all right, well, just wait till we get on the joint. So Jay, what's good, man? What's going on with these dogs? I'm a dog owner too, man. Am I going to be offended by this?
You shouldn't, because it's going to be the truth.
All right, go ahead, man.
Let me ask you a question, man.
Yeah, what up?
If somebody just walks up and pisses in your yard, right, in your grass, that's a problem, right?
Absolutely.
That's a problem.
Absolutely.
So why is it cool for people to just walk their dogs over to your grass and let them piss?
Well, I'm guessing that you the victim of this.
Everybody's the victim of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yes,
not me. I got to understand it with my neighbors.
but yes, but yes, I have grass that is cut, manicured nicely. Sometimes I like to go out. I like to go outside. I like the earth. I like the ground. With my bare feet, getting in touch with nature. You know what I'm saying?
Right now, but go ahead.
Hey, I'm trying to teach you something. You might want to do your Googles before you say I'm bugging about that.
All right.
No, you're right.
Educate me, brother. Go ahead.
He's definitely right.
But I go out there and I do my thing, and it's like, like you go out there and it's wet. It's like, come on, man. It's been 85 degrees all day. You know what I'm saying? It's not
well,
like
it could be dew on the grass, brother.
Nah, not at all, brother. Not at all. Not at all. It just burns me up. Like, that's so trifling. Especially if you got your own grass. Let them go over there.
You gotta soft press one of your neighbors, man. That's what you gotta do. You gotta soft press them, man.
Yo, pick that up right now.
No, I'm saying they for the most part they pick up the defecation. But still, there's still residue left. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think it's trifling, man, and I don't understand when did that become okay for you to just go in other people's property and let your animal do their business.
So do you have like a fence there or whatever? You know what I mean? Or is it
it's no fence.
Just to understand it. Just to understand it.
It's just it's just the front yard. Everybody got little 8 feet of little grass.
It's yours.
You know what you gotta do? You gotta walk up to one of your neighbors and say, "Hey, if somebody keep letting their dog go on my grass, man, and I don't know who it is, man, but I'm about to put hands and feet on them if it keep going on like that." Just ask them. Said, "Have you seen somebody?"
I think I'm just gonna walk over to these people's grass, and I'm just gonna go ahead and handle my business on their grass and see how they like it.
Just joking, man. You gotta holler at them though, man. Just holler at you. It's one neighbor. That's all it is.
It ain't.
It's a few.
It's a few neighbors?
It's a few.
Oh, you have a community taller than you.
Oh yeah. They think it's sweet over at your house.
That's a porta potty over there.
It's just crazy. Like, what's going on here?
Jay-Z say, once you tag lame, the game is followed. Right. They think it's sweet over there.
Yeah, it ain't sweet, man. They be bugging. It be tripping me out because I'm like, why do everybody bring their dog over here?
But don't they got something to spray, like a repellent or something like that you can put on?
Man, they think it's sweet over there. They ain't spraying that. It's like it was 154 Leopard Street. Just go over there and do whatever you do.
See, you talking like that. I'm gonna get that repellent, and these dogs gonna start.
Or get a hose every time you see the dog. Just hit the neighbor and the dog with the hose, man.
I'm just gonna get the repellent. If they come over there, putting their nose in it, they're gonna die. I don't know what happened.
You know them dog.
Well, now the public knows what happened because you said it, brother.
I seen it in a movie.
Yeah, don't incriminate yourself on this microphone, man.
You know them doggy people.
Allegedly.
You know them doggy people in your neighborhood. It's like a secret society. They probably telling each other, "Yeah, man, I go over there all the time, man. Just use John front yard, man."
Yeah, he don't care. He don't be beefing or nothing.
Yeah, man, he love it, man. I seen him come out and pick it up.
Definitely never seen that. Definitely never see that.
Well, with all this hard rain and stuff we get, man, you know, it just helps the grass. You know,
yeah,
the urine is different. Man. Now urine is different, but yeah.
But this is the thing, though. Why not just do it? And why do people think it's cool to walk their animals and let them handle their business in your grass? Why don't they do it at their house?
That's what I told you. It's sweet over there, man.
It's like their house, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, he said, yeah, he seemed like a nice guy, man. Just go over there, use the bathroom with his Lord, man. Anytime you feel like
see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? And so y'all know it's foul. Like y'all agree too. It's just funny.
Yeah,
like,
I wouldn't even go that far, man. Like, you know, I got my little patch or whatever, you know what I mean? But even in that, I tell you how you straighten it out, man. You go get one of them pooper scoopers, man. Grab it up and go to your neighbor yard right when he finishes it and throw it on his front step, man. That's how you stop the problem. Now you got beef.
That's when he goes back. You go back and let that doggy secret society know, yo, he ain't playing over there, man.
Yeah. It got real. They fighting fire with fire. Exactly.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, man. That's how it works out, man.
All right, y'all. I don't want to bring this down, man, but we got to talk about this one, man. All right, so you know, back in like August 14th of this year, an officer by the name of Mark Dow and his partner began following a guy by the name of Eddie Irizarry. He's 27 years old, or was 27 years old. And he was driving erratically in the B area of Erie Avenue. Now, Jay, you being from Philly, you familiar with that area? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So according to the police, Eddie eventually pulled into a parking spot on the 100 block of East Willard Street, and having turned onto the street at a slow rate of speed, going in the wrong direction. The officers stopped their vehicle parallel to Eddie, and they exited and approached. And the body cam footage shows that the officer Dow approaching the driver's side of Eddie's vehicle. And when he approached it, one of the officers yelled that he had a weapon. And next thing you know, Officer Dow just shot him multiple times. So I'm just, wrapping it up. But he was pronounced deceased with the medical examination, finding the cause of death as multiple gunshot wounds, and the manner of death is listed as a homicide. Now, with that being said, as of, yesterday, which was the 26th, Tuesday the 26th, they found that the officer should not be charged because there was not enough evidence to support this, just being as they call like a righteous kill. Like they said it was a righteous kill, so-called. But it's not enough, evidence to support it as just straight up murder, I guess. So
what more do you need?
What more do you need?
Right.
So, of course, we do have the body cam footage, which I'm pretty sure everybody can see. If not, I will link it in the description. It is graphic, so let me give you the warning that, if it's something that you don't want to see, don't watch it. All right. Brothers, since I got you here, I'm going to show you the footage, and, we can go through it with a fine tooth, and you can tell me what you found to be suspicious about this, because to be honest with you, I don't see how the cop was not charged. I don't see how both cops weren't charged on this one, but if you guys look at this, man, what you had to say about it, man? I'm sorry for that.
I looked this thing through, and I always I try to get thorough with these things, because a lot of times we've looked at them in the past and then we found out maybe the cop might have been right or justified or whatever the case may be. But this right here, from the whole thing just looks fugazi.
Yeah, very much.
I mean,
very much.
it's like real fugazi, man. And, I don't know. It's just it's a sad, sad turn of events, man. It just looks real bad, man. I mean, from the explanation from the police department to how these police officers, I think they handled the situation wrong, the way they approached it. Just so many different things. Well, we'll roll a tape, and then what we'll do is we'll talk about it, because I don't know, man. I got a lot of different things to say about this, man.
All right. So as always, brothers, when I roll this footage, if it's a point in it that you need me to stop for your commentary, I will do so. Just let me know when you want me to. All right. So
and it's very quick, so it's not much to it, man. But go ahead.
But I'm gonna save my thoughts to after I see the video.
Okay. So right now the video is going to show the cops approaching the car. All right.
Shoot you. 413 shots fired, 100 West Willard. Get your hand up right now. The officer, please, 1 West Willard. The officer, please, 1 West
Willard. Now stop it.
He said, "Get your hands up right now." After he just shot.
Well, the thing is, even when he approached the car, he already came with the. I'm going to shoot you. You know what I mean?
Here's two things that I actually am glad because I watched this a few times over, and I didn't even realize this. Now, I guess I don't want to jump ahead, but it seems like what they said was at one time or another that they felt threatened because they said he had a knife or something like that. And
a weapon.
Well, this is what I'm saying. This is the fugaziness of the police department when what's the girl name that that's no longer Daniel Outlaw said
no longer the
chief of police. She said in the press conference, she said that he had a weapon, saying that the one of the police officers said the other police officer he had a weapon. The police officer who I sent you the video of the body cam where he's talking to other police officers. He said he told him that he had a knife. And I think he even said something in the video. We watch it over again where he said he lunged at him. Now I'm looking at this video, which is even more crazy. I didn't see before. The windows are up.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, he shot through the window, but don't jump too far because we do have the press conference and we do have the officer's take on it. Yeah.
But real quick, let's just break it down real quick. Mm-hmm. They come in and he says, "I will shoot you." So he already has the weapon drawn. Yeah. And he already has a mind.
He said, "Show me your hands, or I will."
Yeah, to murder this person. Like he already has that on his mind. This is what he's going to do. There's no de-escalation. There's nothing.
Right.
And the fact that you're still screaming, "Show me your hands," after you had already shot at least 10 times through the window, just shows me exactly how scared you are in that situation. You have no control over that. You're supposed to be the professional.
Uh-huh.
Well, even the way they approach the vehicle, you know what I mean? And I wanted to save this, but I'll bring this. Actually, I'm watching this video, right? So after this video, earlier today, I'm watching this video. And after this video is over, it scrolls into a police chase of one police officer chasing a guy somewhere in California. And what happens in this police chase is somewhat similar, but the guy ran into some traffic and he ran in the back of cars or whatever like that, and the car couldn't excel no more. But what the police officer did is, because he was by himself, he basically stopped his vehicle and he got down behind the police car and he waited for, backup and everything else to come and whatever. I think they would have been better off stopping the vehicle, getting out their cars, taking a position, and just waiting and, seeing where things could go and try to de-escalate it. You know what I mean? I don't think they should have even went, from what I understand about the initial police report, it didn't say anything about he done anything violent or anything like that. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know where they came out, from the gate with this kind of whole process. I don't understand.
And then some might count, and I'm not speaking on behalf, like I say, I got to look at things objectively. But what happens in this particular case, what about that section of people that's going to say, well, if they took that approach, and some people will say that if they took that wait and see approach, and he actually did have a gun. You know what I mean?
Well, the whole point is that they would have, that's the whole point. They're getting in position. Whereas if they have to fire the weapon, no, don't hear what I'm saying though. I'm saying in the situation that, you know, I don't even know if this situation warranted this, because if you listen to the story of Mrs. Outlaw talking about you know, the way it happened, they're saying that they saw this guy, he was driving erratically, right? Mm-hmm. And then I guess they would follow him. At some point or another, he actually went down another street or something like that. Never, and I think when they called in him driving erratically, they were trying to find out whether or not there was an issue with his vehicle, or, you know, whether or not he stole this, there was a crime being done or something like that. They never got the call back on it, from what I understand. And then what happened is the dude eventually went down the wrong way street. They pursued him and then they pulled him over. So even if they did that, like I think J-Rob was discussing earlier, like maybe something was going wrong. He could have been sick. He could have been diabetic. We don't know where it was at, but he pulled the car over. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. You guys tell me if you think I'm wrong where I'm going with it. You know what I mean? Because
no, go ahead. I was gonna say this. This is my thing. If you're gonna do that profession, you have to be of that. You have to be able to control that situation. This is murder. This is clearly murder. At no time would you have said that those cops were in fear for their life. At no time did it even look like they even attempted to properly handle the situation. I could have respected it if they'd have went and shattered the window and pulled him out of there. And if they'd have put their hands on him a little bit, hey, I guess that I don't like that either. But
he'd be alive today.
Yeah, he would still be alive.
Yeah,
you know how like this really is making me sad, because as a black man, like, you ride around in your car, and at any time they can make up a story, pull you over. And if they pull you over and you get into that situation, you don't know if you're going to make it home to your family.
Well, the thing that I'm saying, and I don't know if y'all were getting what I'm saying earlier, what they could have done was the regular thing. Pull the cop car over, get out the car. Mm-hmm. Come out the car with your hands up. You know what I mean? They could have did that. I don't know why they got out of the car. And if he was in fear for his life, the cop that shot him walked in front of the car.
Yep.
You were in fear for your life. You walked in front of the car. It doesn't make sense.
You're not in fear for your life when you do those type of things. What you are is you're scared, because one of the area that you're policing, you're afraid to death, and you don't respect the community enough to even have any type of rapport with the community and know how to handle those type of situations.
That's so the point.
When you put scared people around people that they can't relate to, you have this happen.
You know what the funny thing about this, and I've been saying this for the longest, man. I really don't think a lot of time it's actually racism. I think just people just scared. They don't know what to do. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that it might not be in his heart, or, you know, maybe, you know, he's raised by the systemic system and seeing black people and all this other, you know, and feeling maybe have some racism within his heart. I don't know. Who's to say that? But I'm looking at this situation. I'm just saying, trying to think objectively and say, well, he just looked like he was just shook. Like he didn't know what to do. That's what it looks like to me.
But
he's brave because he got a gun and a badge. Yeah, and a license to kill.
So let's go through a little bit more of this footage. So we already stopped off at the point where the shots were fired on Eddie, and let's just pick it up from there.
Move the car, Mark. Move the car. All right.
All right, Joshua 13. Those cars, please. 100.
Hey, can you stop? Can you stop for a second?
Yeah, of course.
I was going to ask, could you rewind it a little bit and see, where did he ever say he had a knife? I never heard this.
All right, let's go back.
Like, we're hearing all kinds of like words being said. I've never heard, and I watched this a few times, I never heard him say he got a knife.
Well, they're probably not going to say it until after the fact, but here, we're going to take it back a little bit.
Yeah, but that was that was the whole point, is that he's saying he shot him because his partner said that he had a knife. Right. That was the whole point.
Let's take it back and we'll look at it.
Show that I'll shoot you. 413 shots fired, 100 West Willard. Get your hand up right now. West Willis. This is the officer, police officer, 1 West Willis.
Hold on again. Like, you see how that officer, I guess that was driving, looked like he's coming up now. Like, from what they were explaining in the police report, and when y'all listen to the, her explain the police report later on, right? She's saying that the driver that was, I believe that's the driver that's coming up on the passenger side. She's saying that I think he lunged at him. You know what I mean? And that's when he says he had a knife. The police officer that's shooting him is closer to the car than the one that's claiming that he got lunged at.
Which one of them was running away? Was that the shooter or the other one?
That they came on the other side, the passenger side?
Yeah. They was like running away when he started shooting.
That's the one that was the driver, I believe.
No,
that's the driver.
No. He's talking about the cop. The cop.
Yeah, the cop is a driver, I believe.
The driver. Yeah, that was driving a police cruiser. Okay.
He was driving a police car. Yeah, he's driving a police car. So when he started shooting, I guess he came back, but I don't think he was that close up on him in the first place. So I mean, looking from the video, I could be wrong.
All right, so we're going to continue.
I'm sorry for interrupting, man.
No, that's what I told you to do.
Yeah.
Move the car. Mark, move the car. All right.
All right, 2413. Those cars, please. 100 Willard. All right, first car location with condition. Give him the 8.
Keep those hands up, right where I can see him. Keep those hands up. Mark, keep your lock on this. Yeah.
All right, so what is it, East Willard or West Willard?
Oh, no, wait. Stop.
Yes.
They're not trying to get no medical attention for this man.
I was just going to say the same thing, Jay. Like,
this is crazy.
He's not going anywhere. You pretty much
just shot him 10 times.
You just dumped on him. So it's like you could clearly see the young man is dying. And you didn't administer or call for any type of aid or anything like that in terms of, I was thinking the same thing, brother.
Listen, man, I don't know the whole complete story, man. And again, I like to try to give these situations the benefit of the doubt. But the reality of it all, man, is looking at this don't look like, this just look like horrible police work. It just don't look right, man.
That's the purpose of us doing what we're doing right now, was to just kind of fine-tooth comb this thing,
What this looks like to me is a person that was under the influence of something.
Allegedly. We don't know.
Allegedly.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Allegedly. You know what I'm saying? And instead of the police handling it the proper way, the way you would expect a professional to handle their business, they went on ahead and murdered this kid. And it's sad.
Yeah, very much so.
I think like I said, at the end of the day, even if some people will, especially a lot of African American people will get on here and say, it was racist. They woke up this morning, wanted to kill a person, all that kind of other stuff like that. At the bare minimum, this is just bad police work.
Yeah.
That's all it is, man. At the bare minimum, all the other stuff can come into play, and it might be a part of it, but this is just horrible police work, man. You know what I mean? And I know he got exonerated, but did they give him his job back?
No, he got fired. But what happens is that he got off for the charge of murder and everything like that. So that's pretty much out the window. But they immediately filed an appeal on that. After that particular verdict was given.
I believe he's going to end up going back. They're going to do this over again. They're going to have to go to court with this again and look it over. So, I mean, you could keep rolling with it, man, but this is...
Hold on. Wait a minute. Mm-hmm. Because, when we watch these videos and things and we discuss these topics, I always have a moment like, wow. And my wow moment right now is that they arrested Bill Cosby on some hearsay from 40 years ago, but you have these cops on tape, on video, murdering people, and nobody goes to jail.
Let me tell you something. This is one of the worst. Like, we've seen a lot of, cops getting shot, shooting people, whatever like that over the years. I think this is one of the worst ones. To say that they didn't take this to trial or, have go through the whole court process to iron things out and let everybody see what it is. This is probably the worst I've seen. One of the worst I've seen. Yeah. If there's a reason to go to court for shooting somebody unlawfully, this is it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Unless you're going to show me something different that I haven't seen, and I've watched everything I could possibly watch. I haven't seen anything different. You know what I mean? This is definitely a reason to go to court and iron it out, you know, if nothing else.
Yeah, definitely. All right, I'm just going to give this a little bit more of a run, and then, you know, give me whatever your take is after this.
What's more? All right. Welcome in. Okay, well, for Cumberland Booth, you did clear first constitution.
Break the window, Mike. You shoot your
Stop it again. Yeah, that even goes to show he's still on panic mode. The man is
he's deceased. He's gone.
I mean,
and you're telling him to break the window, even though all you had to do was open the door.
Wait. His hand is on the lock, about to unlock the door.
I don't get
His
it.
hand is actually on the lock.
Yeah, man. I told you, he's in panic mode, man. He's panicked, man. I'm telling you, and that's what I'm saying. I think the problem is with these cops. They hire most of these police officers. They ain't never been in a fist fight or nothing like that, and usually they don't hire them from the city. They usually hire them from the suburbs or something like that, and they bring them down here, and they bring them into Philly, they bring them into Brooklyn, they bring them into California, and these people have never been in any altercation in their life. They get in this kind of situation, and this is how they react. You see, still panicking. The man is back is against the wall. He look like if he ain't dead, he look like he's dead. Yeah, and he telling him to bust the window out the car.
And not once did they call for medical attention.
Nothing. Well, let's just see.
Stand by 100 West Willard, 50 Officer Police 5 Radio, 100 East Willard, 50 Officer Police 5 Radio.
Huh?
You're gonna have to get him out.
I know.
13, anyone approaching? Yeah, people right now, 14, 13.
I will say that's weird.
Yeah, why was he taking out the car?
No, I will say that's weird. Like, why does he have one? Is those blue gloves he got on?
No, but the color is distorted.
All right, you want to location with 13?
Scoop now.
I'm sorry, ease. Wow.
And then they stuff him in the back of the paddy wagon?
I'm sorry, is that procedure to pick him up out of the car and stuff him in the back of a paddy wagon?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Where's
that's
the ambulance?
Crazy.
Where?
He's shot. Why not lay him down in the street and let the ambulance come? You know,
why did you take him out the car? This is a criminal investigation.
You took him out. You took him out of the car to put him in the back of the paddy wagon.
I'm appealing to the listener. Look, I am not law enforcement. Neither is any person on this panel. But if you're a cop in whatever city it is, if you feel like, you know, you can give some insight on this, please call us, email us or something. I've never seen where you would move a person who was shot in a car. If you're in a car accident, they tell you don't move. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. They tell you
if you got shot, they tell you don't move. I'm just saying, if you was if you just got rear-ended somewhere, the whole thing would be like, don't move. Wait till the ambulance come and check you out. Nobody touch him. Wait till the ambulance come. I've never seen where someone gets dragged out of a car, and I mean no disrespect to the family when I say this, that you get dragged out of a car and dragged across the street to the paddy wagon
and stuffed in the
bag. And again, I mean no disrespect to his family. God knows. I pray for y'all. This is terrible. It has to be said. Terrible, it's terrible, man. Wow. Yeah, this
just looks bad all the way around. And I mean, we ain't even getting to, you know, all the other stuff, man. The police chief, the jacked up police report.
Oh, we're going to get to that in a second. I just wanted to see where we was going with this.
This is real triggering, man. Like I'm sitting here and I already knew it was bad, but I intentionally did not watch the video because you know, this gives me the PTSD. So actually watching it now is so triggering. It's creating so many emotions in me. It's really hard to look at.
It's terrible. It's understandable. It's understandable. In fact, we're gonna clip it right here. Let's just go straight to this is the after effect. Now, what happens is during this particular time, all right? Now, this was about a month ago, where then Commissioner Outlaw had a press conference to discuss the inaccuracies in the report of
the initial report, right?
The initial report of this officer's shooting.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. We're here today, as Sergeant Grip mentioned, to provide an update into the officer-involved shooting which took place this past Monday, August 14, 2023, in the 1000 block of East Willard Street at approximately 12:28 p.m. To start, I want to acknowledge that during the press briefing that took place on scene on August 14th, 2023, we reported that the preliminary information indicated that the driver was outside of the vehicle at the time of the shooting. At this time, the evidence clearly indicates that the male was not outside of the vehicle and was seated inside the vehicle at the time of the discharge.
No, I'm sorry, I hit the wrong button, but he was outside of the vehicle, more like dragged outside of the vevehicle. You know what I mean? So
well, initially they're saying that he came out of the vehicle, or I guess they were trying to say that he was out. The driver was coming out of the vehicle to lunge at them or something like that.
That's what I'm saying. When he's on the ground,
okay,
that, you know what I mean? Does it to the approaching eye? It looks like he got shot outside the vehicle. You know what I mean?
I don't even think that's that. I think that was just like them putting their story together at that time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I believe that's what it was.
And then you see the body cam footage and you see that they lied, and it's like, how can you not bring them up on charges? But let's continue.
All right.
I understand and want to acknowledge the hurt and confusion that family and community members can experience when details of investigations change, and especially when they change in the very public way that this has occurred. In the name of transparency, I strive for our department to release as much detail as possible when we can do so without damaging the integrity of the investigation. That is why we preface all of our releases by stating that information is preliminary and subject to change. At the time we gave that information, that was the best information that we had available. And we always strive to clarify and update that information as quickly and accurately as possible. That's what we're doing here today. I also understand that the information I'm about to provide will raise additional questions, but allow me to again reiterate that it is our duty to protect the integrity of the investigation, an investigation that is concurrently being handled by the District Attorney's Office. I will now provide updates about the status of the investigation, and we'll take questions at the end, and we'll do our best to provide answers if we have them. However, I need to make very clear that I'm unable to answer any questions as to the specifics of the evidence outside of what I will now divulge. Also, as I go over the details of the incident, I will be referring to one of the officers by number, Officer Number 1, and a second officer as Officer A. We use numbers to denote discharging officers and letters to denote officers who were at the scene during officer-involved shootings. So on Monday, August 14th, at approximately 12:28 p.m., District Officer Number 1 and his partner, Officer A, were in full uniform and operating a marked police car in the area of B Street near Westmoreland when they observed a Toyota Corolla with the Pennsylvania tag driving erratically. Officer A went over police radio and asked if there were any priority assignments involving a Toyota sedan. The officers followed the vehicle as it turned on Westmoreland, then left onto Lee Street, and finally onto Willard Street. At that point, the vehicle continued along 100 East Willard Street, a single-lane, one-way street, westbound the wrong way. The vehicle pulls into a parking spot mid-block, at which point both officers got out of their marked radio patrol car. Officer A, who was the driver of the police vehicle, approached the passenger side of the Toyota Corolla. Officer Number 1, the passenger of the police car, approached the driver's side door. Officer A attempted to open the passenger side door, and as he did so, Officer Number 1 was approaching the driver's side door.
Sorry, I'm still not sure.
Officer A alerted Officer Number 1 that the male had a weapon. As the male turned towards Officer Number 1, Officer Number 1 discharged his firearm multiple times into the vehicle, fatally wounding the driver, sole occupant of the vehicle.
Hold on a second.
The occupant or operator.
Get the car so no one grabs anything.
Well, I just wanted to, again, make a note of the fact that, again, she said that he had a weapon. And when we watched the other video, the actual police officer that made the statement to the other officer is going to say that he had a knife. And I think that's very, very important in the sense that when you're talking about being a threat to somebody, they're looking right in the window of that vehicle. You know what I mean? And you're going to say that a knife is a threat to you when the windows is up. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Not only that, the ridiculousness of this whole statement, because we see the body footage, we see the body cam, we see the interaction of what actually happened. And so for these people to go back and write these statements on these reports, like and lie in them, it's almost like they try to pull a Jedi mind trick. It's really disrespectful and it's hurtful because, again, you see all the evidence is right there and it's laid out for you. It's clear and obvious what happened.
Yeah, it just don't look right. Don't look right at all.
And then you go back and lie like you're not on camera. Like that. That's like somebody going in a jewelry store, snatching something, and then as they leaving out, like, no, I ain't do it. That's not how that happened. I told him I wanted to buy it, and he told me to just take it.
It's crazy.
And we seen you rob the place.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
As a matter of fact, let's do this, fellas. Let's do this. All right. Let's backtrack to that particular situation. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause former Commissioner Outlaw's statements. Let's play the actual account from the police officer that was there. Right. And then that way we can kind of get a better context of what they thought, what they deem as being the truth. All right. Go ahead. Were you gonna say something?
Also, too, we know our listeners they can't see what we don't, see the footage. Well, you can, you're going to leave the link and everything like that. But I'm just telling y'all to watch the body language of the officers that he's talking to and also pay attention to what he's playing. The officers that he talking to, looking at him like almost like they're not saying it, but it's almost like, yo, shut up. Yeah. You know what I mean?
He's talking too much.
Yeah. Right.
So, go ahead. We're going to go ahead and,
tell me if y'all see that, that's what I thought I saw out of it.
Well, actually, I'm just going to play the audio. I'm just going to play it.
Play it.
All right. So, just listen to it, guys.
My camera's on.
I'm on this too. Whatever. You guys, it's not whatever.
We're coming down B Street, and he starts flying in the bike lane.
Now, this is the officer explaining the situation as he saw it.
Thanks to Westmoreland.
Hold on. Now, he said flying in the bike lane. This is what he said when he first seen it, right? But according to that police chief, she just said they were just driving erratically. Mm-hmm. That's different. Somebody flying in a bike lane, a police, that's like a chase. That leads to a chase. You got to get it on at that point.
Mm-hmm. But this is another thing. I'm not sure if y'all understand the area, but that area, if there are bike lanes, they ain't that wide. Yeah. So what is he really doing? Just driving down the street? Yeah, and then again, Jay is speaking as a Philadelphia native, guys.
And then out of a hat. He knows the street.
Also, they're saying that he's flying through the bike lane. You know what I mean? So again, I don't know. Maybe from what she's saying, it sounds like I always took like driving erratically as like maybe you might be like
swerving
going back and swerving or something like that, or lightly doing something wrong.
Let me tell y'all something, right? Philadelphia is an old city, all right? Mm-hmm. All the streets where they put these bike lanes at, they didn't come in and make the streets wider. So what they did is they chopped off a part of the lane.
Right.
So when you say somebody's driving in the bike lane, it don't make no sense.
Well, they said he was speeding in the bike lane. That's what he just said.
Like, it don't make no sense.
Go ahead, finish it up, man. Let's see what he.
All right.
Come over. I'm like, he's driving a high rate of speed. As soon as I make the right, he starts taking off again. He came down whatever street this is here. I'm trying to come over here. I asked the 25th had anything. As soon as I make this left, it's the wrong way. I see a car here. I see him parking up. As we parked up, we got out. Dude pulled out a knife.
You don't need any of that. What do you need all that for?
Man, there's not gonna be a stage.
That's when in the video.
He pulled out a knife.
That's what he's saying in the car, I guess. But in the video, you can see the cop telling him like, yeah, we hear what you're saying. That sounds right.
Yeah, just stop. Yeah,
Yeah, I
stop
mean.
talking. All right.
So as we pull up, dude starts freaking out. Pulls out a knife.
I understand. We're not looking for
couldn't. I tried to get this door open. I couldn't.
And I good, right? You don't need anything else?
No, we're good. This is it.
Okay, that's fine. Sorry. Continue.
So like I said, as I pull up, he starts freaking out. We get out. Mark comes on the driver's side. I'm over here. I try to get the door open. I can't. He pulls out a knife. I tell him, like, Mark, he's got a knife. And I guess I couldn't really see because I looked up and Mark, I saw his body come up like this and then Mark fired. But he had the knife. He had like a...
Is the knife? Is it in the car still?
He does have one here. The one he had, it might have fell in between somewhere, but I don't want to touch nothing until...
That's fine. No problem.
Can we stop the video?
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you able to go back and play the actual body cam footage?
Yeah, let's go to the videotape, brother. Because I get what you're saying, what you're about to say, because I did not hear him say that at all.
I never heard him say that.
None of that happened. None of that happened.
And I've heard, and there was a lot of yelling and screaming during that process. I never heard him say he had a knife.
I never did either.
And you would think, out of all the things they were yelling and screaming, that would be the thing that you would hear.
All right, let's go back and listen to this again. This is the actual body cam footage of the incident.
I'll fucking shoot you.
I will stop right there. Yes, I did hear him say it.
I think I did hear him. Yeah, now I think I did hear him say it. Okay.
All right, so let's.
I'm wrong. I stand corrected.
Yeah, I stand corrected.
I think I did see him say something like that. Yeah,
well, yeah, I heard him in the back. All right, here we go.
But I had it like nobody was.
So you didn't discharge at all?
No, I gave the wrong location. So I was like, Mark, nobody's coming. I thought we were
right behind me. And I went the other way. Okay.
I thought we were. I don't know why I thought Westwood, but
sorry.
Either way, when I was like, Mark, nobody's coming. I think I gave the wrong location. We got to scoop him. So Mark's like, I'll scoop him, and then we'll go from there.
That's fine.
He discharged all right here. He backed up, and then we took him out of the car, and then we got to scoop him. Yeah, it's going to be all right here, wherever it is. It's silver, yeah. He started like looking around like he was like nervous. Right there.
All right, see if you guys can find the casing. Adult male.
Yeah.
So you were on this side of Mark?
I was on this side. I seen him grab the knife, and he kind of like went up like this, and then Mark fired.
And Mark was standing over there?
Mark was on the driver's side.
And you were over here?
Yeah, I pulled up. As soon as I pulled up right here, like right car stop, I activated. As soon as I got out, he saw me, grabbed the knife.
But I say again, guys,
the windows are closed. He's in a car.
Thank you, man. You were reading my mind because I'm like, the window is closed, and if he's going to lunge?
He's in a car. What do you? What I mean? I could see if he said there was a gun on the thing, and you saw You're telling us you know that the only weapon that he chose to grab is a knife. You're telling us that. So if the car door is closed, the windows, you even were so confident you went to grab the door open. You know what I mean? Until you realize he had a knife. Okay, all right.
And if you put yourself, and again to the family, I mean, no disrespect in what I'm about to say, but if you put yourself in Eddie's position, okay, I don't want to sit here and say the young man was on anything. I don't want to sit here and say that he was holding something that he shouldn't have been holding. I don't want to say that he was fleeing from a crime or whatever the case is. But if that cop, well, not if, he did approach the door of his car, what makes you think that you are going to defeat somebody with a knife and it's two officers with guns?
With guns, it don't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense. It wouldn't make logical sense for him to lunge at this cop with a knife when they all got guns and tasers.
And don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but wait. Let me say this real quick. Yeah, because he couldn't hit nobody through the window. Even if he did, the windows is up.
Right.
The windows, and he's not going to get out, take the time to unlock the car. This is like a fairly older vehicle. It's not like his, you know what I mean? So
he got to roll him down with his
probably got to
hand.
roll it. It looks like, to be honest with you, it's the truth.
Yeah, look down.
He had the pull lock, so of course you got to roll that down.
So
with
he's
your
gonna,
hand.
go down and get the knife and then, open the door and lunge at the cop. You wouldn't stand a chance. And I'm pretty sure that he was thinking that he could have. You know what? And okay, let's just again, let's put ourselves in his shoes. He pulls over. Who knows to say he might, if he did pick up the knife, to say, all right, well, look, I got a knife. Just let you know that I got this in the car.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
I would have been better off hearing him say, I don't know what he got. But when you say he grabbed a knife, that means you know that you got the upper hand. You way got the upper hand.
Right.
Yep.
It doesn't even make any logical sense. You know, I mean, he didn't go for nothing else but a knife. You saw it. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think this guy who made the call, I think it was bad police work, but I think his partner just was panicked.
Yeah, I mean, because
he backed up. He just backed up and pulled his firearm out.
Everybody knows the saying, man.
His partner panicked, man.
Who brings a knife to a gunfight?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Who does that?
This is what I was saying earlier. This is how you know how scared he was, the partner that actually did the shooting. Because as he's shooting, he's backing up. He's getting up out of there. And it's so sad because it's like, you know that if there's only a knife there and you're shooting and you're still running away.
Now, here's the funny thing about that. I remember a couple, what is it, maybe a few years ago, maybe even last year, it's not too long ago in Philly. I think it was a guy who was autistic or something like that, and he was charging towards the police with a knife or something like that. Now, I was the one that said, man, listen, you know, if he's charging at me, you know what I mean, and he's out the car, that's different. You know what I mean? But this guy is in no position to battle you. You know what I mean? You know, so it doesn't make any sense to me, man. Again, I just think the guy had a itchy finger, and he just a panicky finger, I should say, and just lost.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's bad, man.
Yeah, very much so, man. And I just think that, you know, they really.
I think the problem.
Yeah.
I keep telling you, I think the thing with these police officers, man, they just keep hiring people that are not equipped to handle this job, man. You know what I mean? You can't take people out of the suburbs and put them in these positions and expect them to act like they're supposed to react, man. It's just not the way it's supposed to act.
Yeah. So, you know what? We've been hearing a lot from the police officers and all of that. And we listened to Commissioner Outlaw. Again, I'm not going to go into the full press conference because it was a month ago, former police commissioner. And it was a month ago. I'll leave the links in the description. I will not leave the links of the body cam footage in there. I did say initially I would, but it is, like you say, Jay, it might be a lot, you know, real triggering to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And out of respect to the family, I won't do that. But
yeah, when they drug him out that car by his arms.
Yeah, when I saw that was it for me.
Yeah, if that was my family member, man, I thank God it ain't, you know, and I pray I never have to be in no situation like that. You know, who could take something like this on camera?
Something. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna listen to Eddie's aunt. I think it's Zarita Garcia, and her speaking on the situation with them not charging the officer with murder on yesterday. Here we go.
I said he committed a crime and he needs to pay for the crime that he committed.
She's talking about this moment, the video played in court that shows Irizarry's final moments during an August traffic stop in Kensington. Police say the 27-year-old was driving erratically and drove down a one-way street before parking his car on East Willard Street. The video shows ex-officer Dial got out of his patrol vehicle and about 6 seconds later fired multiple shots into the car, killing Irizarry.
She murdered my nephew and evidence was there. All evidence was there. There goes to tell you, an officer can kill someone in Philadelphia and get away with murder.
It was so devastating, you know, and for a young man like that we know, he is so humble. He was so scared.
Attorney Shaka Johnson represents Eddie Irizarry's family. He tells Fox 29 the judge dismissing the charges against Mark Dial is a shock to the system.
I believe the improper, the wrong standard was in fact applied. The letter of the law was not followed today.
Johnson adds the family's trust in the court system has been completely shaken.
They're absolutely distraught. They had little faith in this process based on how it began. And today is like another dagger. They've been victimized all over again.
Which is why Zarita Garcia says they won't go down without a fight.
Sometimes we have to make noise to be heard. It's sad to say, but here in the city, we have to make noise. And we've been peaceful the whole time. When you go peaceful, all charges get dropped.
Well, did you see the other footage? I thought I sent it to you where it was like the guy that, I guess it was one of the news reporters that came out of court. And he was saying that even when the prosecutor asked the judge to go ahead and drop all the charges, the prosecutor was surprised. He said everybody in the court was surprised when the judge dropped all charges.
Yeah.
Said everybody.
Everybody was shocked.
It's disgusting.
It is. And so, before we close off on this particular topic, all right, I would like to, if it hasn't been done already, because I know at that particular time where they had like maybe a couple of dozen people, they said gathered at City Hall after this was over for like a peaceful protest. They did say that there was some looting, which was also reported that it was not related to this whole particular situation. That was just like a flash mob situation.
Now, how do they know that?
I don't know.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Because it is a person in Philadelphia who was live streaming themselves looting, and they said that they were doing it because of the proceedings that happened.
Well, you know what? I will say this, and this is just my opinion, okay? You can agree or disagree with it, man. I think that the whole purpose of the looting and all of that takes away from the fact that an injustice was done. You know what I mean? Stealing from the Nike store is not going to change or make any reform.
Absolutely.
I mean, we got to really
raiding the Apple store is not going to change.
It's not going to change policy, folks.
Let me say this. Let me listen. I don't agree with that. I don't think you should, but let me tell you something. I think in that George Floyd situation, whereas, when people were protesting nicely and everything like that, everything was going cool, it just went real nice and smooth. And I think everything was going according to protocol. I honestly believe once people started tearing up stuff and whatever case may be, the following evening or when they, started ripping stuff apart, be honest with you, man, I think that's when companies came in and started, putting money into the whole situation. Well, and I'm not saying I'm not saying that I agree with it. I'm just saying, I thought, honestly speaking, the whole George Floyd thing was going to go on as protocol as usual until they started tearing up some stuff. And I don't agree with it. I'm just saying that.
Unfortunately, we live in a society that respects violence, but you also got to use your head, man. This is not going to change policy when you tearing up your neighborhood and all of that. If you really want to hit them, this is what you do. Go sit in front of the Apple store and prohibit anybody to come in here to spend money. You know what I mean? Sit in front of that bar salon. Do something that's going to shut down the economy as opposed to, You know what you actually do? What's that?
If you really have a problem with the police and the police officers in that community, go sit in front of the precinct. Don't let them go to.
Don't let them go to work. You gotta do something that's going to affect. That's going to spark a change.
Go down to the courthouse.
Go down to the courthouse and protest.
Don't let nobody in there.
I wouldn't say run up in these stores, because I think as a result of that, there's about 30 arrests that have nothing to do with the fact that you protesting this young man's death. You get arrested for looting.
I believe what they should do is that the original reason for marching and protesting, a lot of people don't even know this, and like y'all saying some of it, but the original reason for marching and protesting was to, like you said, shut down the economy. Mm-hmm. It was basically, I believe, Malcolm X was giving a speech one time, and he was talking about some of the grassroots people that initially started this. A lot of people that believe that Dr. King and all of them set this up, but this is originally started by grassroots people, and they actually kind of like Dr. King and them kind of took it over. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But the original plan was not to go to no city hall and stand in front of. The original plan was to go to the airport and shut down the runway.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It was original plan was to go to your major highways and cities and protest, and to the point where you lock the city up to the point where they couldn't get no money. That was the original idea of the protest. You know what I mean? It really wasn't, all of this stuff where, everybody want to go kumbaya in front of some local place that ain't gonna make $1 or something like that. It was really about shutting down the economy, going to the airport. And I tell you what's funny about that. Mm-hmm. We don't never use our own, what we initially started when Trump put the travel ban. the Middle Eastern, the Muslims went up there, and I remember one morning going to Philadelphia, and they was shutting that down, shutting the airport down in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that travel ban, I think, was lifted like maybe like the next day or the following week or something like that. You know what I mean? So again, if you want to, real protest, man, go sit in that runway in Philadelphia and see what happens.
And again, I don't know if this has happened since
that money
since the time of us actually doing the show, because of course we're doing the show. I'm not watching the news while we're doing the show, but I would like to make a call out to where the Black Lives Matter and all these organizations is at to help these people protest this thing properly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Go shut down your airport. Stop that marching, man. Go shut down your local airport.
When this young man was killed like this, it shouldn't have been maybe a couple of dozen people in front of City Hall.
Yeah, where's Tamika Mallory and my son at?
Right.
Is that just from New York?
Right. I got to call a spade a spade. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ben Crump, again, I have my issues with him, but you know what I mean? Where is that? Where's we need to have people on the case that's going to bring this thing to attention. You know what I mean? These people deserve justice just like anybody else. You know what I mean?
Like I said, man, again, and again, this goes back to the history of protesting, man. The history of protesting goes back to the boycott. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Where they stop that money. When you stop that money, people pay attention, man. And if we're going to protest, stop all that marching and kumbaya in the street where it's like it's all, it's like a barbecue out there, like Malcolm said. It's a picnic. It's a picnic.
The Floyd protests, if you did look at it as it went on in the weeks, man, it did start to kind of turn into like a barbecue and a party in certain areas.
It's a picnic, man.
It's not what it's supposed to be.
It's not what it's supposed to be. You
imagine if all those people, instead of going one area and marching to one area, which is basically controlled, and that's why I think it goes back to Malcolm when he speaks on Martin Luther King. It's a big speech. Everybody can go Google on this, man. And he talks about how they controlled it. They controlled the march because they used it where they kept moving. You know what I mean? So when they kept moving, then everything is continued to go on as business as usual. If they had went someplace and planted their feet in the ground and said, we're going to stop these businesses for the day. That's how you get answers, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's how you get answers. That actually makes sense.
Yeah, it makes
sense. That's
how
you get answers, man.
So listen. Speaking of stopping business, now I'm gonna transition to another topic that very near and dear to my heart as of late.
Yeah.
To be honest, brothers, I was actually going to pen an essay on this thing. I really, struck me in the middle of the night one time, man. I'm like, I need this. I need to really write something about this, man.
You're right. We need to shut down. Go ahead. Finish.
Well, you see where I'm going. We transition to this next topic, y'all.
Go ahead, man.
What is going on with females in the entertainment industry, specifically the hip hop industry? Listen, sad, brother. Man. Listen to me, brother. I don't keep up with none of this stuff. All right, I'm out of touch on a lot of these things, and I thank God for that. Applaud that. Thank God for that, man. What happens is, came up on my feed at this particular time. I think this was maybe a week ago or something like that. Delaware own Suki Hana. All right, this is the girl's name. Was twerking on the floor at the VMAs, which sparked a lot of outrage from people on social media. Like, you're setting black women back, blah, blah, blah. Few people actually made comments, then kind of dialed the comments back and apologized to her. I don't know why. And then it just seems like it just disappeared. You know what I mean? Like nobody talked about it after that, right?
Right.
And so as it goes down the line, I thought to myself, like, wow, man. I said this in a prior show. What happened to ladies first? What happened to this? You know what I mean? What happened to, keeping your femininity, keeping your dignity, keeping, it's no shame in these things that they do anymore. And so I see you fired up already, Jay. I see you're getting the gears going. But what happens is, like, what happened to, the class in this thing? I was telling my brother, because he sent me another video, which we are not going to play on this program at all. Right. And what's the girl's name is what, Sexy Red or something like that. And I'm like, what in the world is going on with our females, man? And these are young girls, man. These are young ladies with kids. And I often say this, y'all, and I know you want to jump in, Adrian, but
it's the whole industry, man.
It's the whole industry. But let me get this off, man. Let me get this off, man. So what happens is, I often say that you never see the counterparts doing this. You will not see Taylor Swift doing this. You will not see, I don't know. Just give me any
genre of music. Yeah.
Any genre of music.
But you know why? Because hip hop and the essence of hip hop comes from the street and from poor people, right? Mm-hmm. So when you're dealing with poor people, they're talking about their struggle and their environment. That's what the essence of it is. So it's always going to have a little edge to it. But I think what happens is that these power brokers and these companies come in and they get these young impressionable kids and they implore them to rap about this nonsense. Same thing on the other end with the drill rap. That they implore these kids to, murder, death, kill music all the time, and it's like it's deteriorating. It's deteriorating the art, and it's deteriorating our communities.
And it's done by design, man. It's done by design. But go ahead.
That's what I'm saying.
It's done by design.
And historically, they dumb down our music. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong. Again, like you said, my life has changed. I try not to listen to this stuff, and I don't get me wrong. I'm not perfect. I mean, I loved hip hop music at one time. I still have it in me where I like it and whatever the case may be. But the point is like, it's deteriorated so bad that, what I mean? And it's not like I'm even listening to it, but like when you scroll through your timeline and you see people post stuff or whatever like that, it's almost funny. It's like it's a joke. Like, is this for real?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know how remember how Dave Chappelle used to do like skits of hip hop videos and different things like that, and you'll be like, "Yo, this is a joke." This is exactly what this stuff looked like. You know what I mean? The rhyme is like ABC 1, 2, 3.
It's horrible. It's horrible. Like I said, it's deteriorating the essence of what hip hop was, about what rap is, because again, they're dumbing it down so much that anybody can do it. You couldn't spit no corny rhyme and even get no type of, we don't want to hear that. Shut up. You better go practice your jump shot or whatever the case may be. Like, you actually had to have a skill set to do this.
Yeah. And like I said, and again, it's a craft to it. It's a craft to it. I mean, let's say, and don't get me wrong. Like I said, I try not to listen to it, but here's the point. At one time or another, somebody used to actually sit down. This is poetry.
Yeah.
Excuse me. This is like I heard
art. It's art.
I heard Fly Ty, the manager of Cold Chillin', one time make a statement, and he said a lot of the music that a lot of these kids were making in the 80s and the 90s. He said it's just is compatible or comparable to to Langston Hughes' poem, Life to Me Ain't No Crystal Stair. He was saying like that's how deep some of this stuff was written back then. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, they did some crazy stuff in the music here and there, whatever the case may be. But from the time, what Melly Mel said, a child is born, no state of mind.
Listen,
different things like that.
What the rhyme that touched my heart it was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that really touched my heart. Like, we felt that.
Well, if you what's funny about that, if you actually sit down and take that verse from him and you listen to that poem, Life for Me Ain't No Crystal Stair, there's a lot of similarities in that. He's talking about Crystal Stair is talking about, just rough times. Right. You know what I mean? And Juicy is talking about rough times, growing up in the neighborhood and stuff like that. And again, it's just sad that to see young women. I was scrolling through my time, and one of these girls, I think this girl Sexy Red or whatever, somebody put a video, and I'm telling you, it's like weird. It's like nobody but booty shaking in the video. This is like, remember back in the days they had like Luke After Dark or something like that.
Yeah.
You know,
BET After Dark.
BET
exactly
After
what
Dark or whatever like
yeah.
that. It's like, yo, they couldn't even show this stuff back in the days, man. And I'm like, this chick is not talented.
Yeah, she's not even attractive. Let's keep it a buck. She's not even attractive.
I mean,
I remember watching Light and watching Latifah and like, yo, even though Latifah wasn't that attractive, I was attracted to Light. You know what I'm saying? And you was like, yo, like they really spitting. Light was a monster.
Yeah, it was something that they were saying in there. I mean, again, it's like it's no hope in what these people are talking about. It's, you got one side, you got the guys, you got what they call the drill rap. The other side, you got
murder, death, kill all day.
Other side, you got the ratchet stuff from the females, and all of them are doing it. You know what I mean? Nothing in it is like, you know, let me say something, you know,
nothing edifying at all. Nothing edifying at all. You know, we grew up in an era where, you know, common sense was talking about retrospective, like speaking against abortion. You know, you had your public enemies. You know, I mean, you had the things that you know, it did kind of leave a message in it to say, all right, well, here's the rabbit hole, man. Go do your research.
Just the craft of it, man.
Go do your research.
You had your Razzcasses, you know, you had your guys that was actually speaking something, that was actually saying something. That was the whole point of having something to say.
I have something to say. And as you see right now, it's just a bunch of shameless nonsense, man. And like I say, I got to the point, like I told you, man, I'm out of touch. I'm out of touch with a lot of this stuff. But,
right.
You know, when something like that comes across, it's like, yo, I see this and I got to break code on it. I'm not listening to this for any type of enjoyment. I'm trying to see what you pumping in these kids' head. You know what what's going on here? What you pumping in? So when we approach a subject like this, I can say, like, you know, from a perspective of an older gentleman, man, like, yo, this is wrong.
Hey, listen,
you know what I mean?
At one time or another, right? You know, I remember one time you're scrolling through YouTube or something like that years ago, and I heard Marvin Gaye, and they had What's Going On, the acapella version of it. And I was like, wow, you know, this guy's a craftsman, man. You know, this music is what it is. But when you hear the acapella of it, you're like, wow, this is beautiful. You know, and as far as like listening to the song, you know what I mean? If, you know, for loving R&B music. But as far as, like, I'll give you an example. Nas, I heard acapella, I Gave You Power. That's a poem.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right.
Yeah, talking about the dangers of, you know, picking up a gun. You know what I mean?
No, it's a poem. It's a craft. It's a craft to it, man.
But it's just like you have to break code on this stuff because, you know, like I was telling you, man, is that the babies that listen to this is having babies. You know what I mean? And this is the stuff that you're raising them on. You'd be surprised how many kids know these lyrics of these.
I don't even know where we could go. I don't even know where we could go anymore because it's like NWA and Ice-T gave us what we thought was gangster rap, and it was a little bit more harsh. You understand? Yeah. And then it from what 86, 87 to now, where at least Ice Cube was putting together rhymes in a thought-provoking way. Like, this crap is trash.
Yeah, at least it was revolutionary. I mean, it was talking about how, you know, it made you read a book.
I'm not even gonna quote homegirl lyrics. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all, man.
But not at all. But it's like, what are you doing? Like, why would they even put that out?
Let me tell you something. This shameless chick even had her baby in the doggone video. You got your child in the video, man.
But all right, let me say this. Right?
Chick said my kid needs a new pappy. Like, what type of message is that?
Because I know a lot of the times we want to take a hit at that young girl. What I'm saying is that a lot of these companies should be held responsible for this nonsense and this trash.
Yeah.
Because they're taking advantage of these kids, and they know if you give, especially if you have nothing and you give somebody something, they'll do whatever the hell you want them to.
And you know what? I'm not even going to I'm not banging on her in particular. I'm just saying in general. And in fact, I'm a broad stroke it. I'm not just saying just the females, even the guys, even the men. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like say it's so shameless and crazy now that it seems like we often discuss these guys are not, artists. They're just trying to be entertainers. They're just trying to be reality stars. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're trying to be as ratchet as possible. Like the couple that you were telling me about was the Chrisann or Chrisette, whatever name.
Chrisann or Blueface.
Blueface, you said it. They're saying like, yo, they're the new Bobby and Whitney. That's not a compliment, bro.
That's actually disrespectful.
That's disrespectful.
That's disrespectful to Whitney Houston.
Yeah,
that's disrespectful to Whitney Houston, one of the greatest voices of our time.
Who dealt with addiction, and we get that, man. You know what I mean? But it's just like, yo, and even to Bobby Brown.
That girl don't even have no talent. Like, come on, and Bobby, come on.
Even to Bobby Brown's credit, I will say this, man. This is a person that dealt with addiction, but it seems like that he overcame it. He's doing better. By God's permission, he's doing better. So it's just like, yo, like, how do you compare that to them? And even if you do say that, it's not. If you say like, hey, that's the new Ike and Tina, that's not a compliment, bro. You know what I mean? So that's nothing to be proud about.
Unless you're talking about music,
because they're not talking about music, Jay. That's the whole point. They're talking about whatever issues they were going through in their life. That's compare crazy. It to that. You know what I mean? And it's like crazy, man.
Hey, and even with that little girl, man, like I said, I've been, you scroll through Facebook and you see this stuff on your timeline or whatever like that, right? And even with that little girl, Chrisann or whatever like that, I think anybody involved with her ought to be locked up. Because to be honest with you, the girl, to me, and I'm not being disrespectful when I say this, I'm thinking she like mildly autistic or something. It's something.
No, you know what it is?
I actually saw the pictures before.
Or just a drug. Or
it's a drug thing.
It's a drug thing. Because if you look at the pictures before, you would say you wouldn't even think that that's the same person.
Yeah, the sad thing, and I'm not saying that negative, trying to be just down or disrespectful. I mean, I look at she's a pretty little girl.
Man, these are somebody's kids, man. These are somebody's
tearing herself apart. Yeah, she's tearing herself apart.
You know what I mean?
And they're funding these kids being all drugged and spaced out. Yeah. And they're utilizing it, man.
They want to be famous. People want fame more than they want money.
Yeah, one of the I was watching something the other day, and one of the artists, I can't even remember, an artist on, scrolling through Facebook, and the artist said, these are not even artists no more. It's an older artist talking about the new artists. He said, these are not even artists no more. He said, if you actually sit down and name 10 of their top hits, he said, you can't name them. You know them more for what they do on social media than what they do in music.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't even name the hits that they got, man. You really know them from degrading themselves on social media and doing something that's just, you can anybody can make a hit now. All you got to do is wake up and you got to be willing to do something as ratchet as you possibly can and have like a nasty video and this is what it is. Like
Homegirl, Scarlett. Didn't she? Her claim to fame was that hot dog thing, right? She was rapping to a hot dog or something.
Something crazy like that.
Rap to a hot dog.
Yeah, I mean,
I never seen it.
She held up a hot dog in her face and rapped to it or something. Or?
I don't know. I didn't.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Oh, I mean, they said that's where that whole Glizzy thing started.
I don't even know what any of this stuff is.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm out of touch.
I'm out of touch.
The sad part about it is, she probably might be the best out of all of them. And I'm not talking about no artists or anything like that. I'm talking about the fact that, all the rest of them is pretty much butt naked in the video. You know what I mean? They pretty much, it's nothing off limits as far as what they do. I don't even know. What's the thing they used to stop us back in the day, the FCC? Yeah. What happened to the FCC?
Well, that guy, I was telling you about that earlier, man. Right now, terrestrial radio is trying to keep up with the internet. So much like television, they letting anything go just to keep the candle lit, man. They keeping anything going.
Man, that's crazy, man. The FCC is done, man. I remember at one time or another, certain songs couldn't be played on the radio and all this other stuff like that, man. Now they just a free for all. You just do whatever you want. It's almost like soft porn. You know what I mean? It's between between the radio and these videos, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Man.
That's what it is, man.
And I feel bad for the children because I remember hearing self-destruction. You know what I'm saying? I remember hearing we all in the same
all
game.
in the same game. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it did spark something in me. It sparked something, you know, to want to be better.
Listen, I heard tragedies, intelligent hoodlum, and all of them. I made me get my specs and.
Right.
And you know what I mean? You started reading books and different things like that, man. I read a lot of books because of the fact that somebody might have mentioned it in hip hop and different things like that. And I'm not trying to promote it. I'm just saying that these are the, you know, I guess you can take some good out of, you know, some things, you know what I mean? And it was some things that I got that kind of got good, got some good out of it, I should say. You know what I mean?
And when you heard Rakim, you wanted to get your vocabulary good. You wanted to be better with your words.
Yeah, you wanted to be better with your words.
That was pretty much all of the 90s. You know, everybody was using these big words and things like that. So it's just like now the offering is terrible. You know what I mean? The offering is terrible.
It speaks to the time. All these kids is running around looking drugged out, spaced out. You know what I mean? Even when they rhyme, they sound like they on heroin or something like that. It's like you barely can open your mouth while you're rapping or something like that. You know what I mean?
I don't know how old your children are, but these kids is having virtual school now. Like they don't even have teachers in all their classes.
My daughter done finished school.
yeah. Yo, that's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. It's like what? If we had could you imagine? Like, yo, you know how we acted up with a sub. Could you imagine? They got a TV like, yeah, y'all supposed to learn from that.
Yeah, let me tell you, man. We are in some strange times, man. Some strange times, man. So
I guess I'm the only older guy. That's the older gentleman is out here still trying to still making babies. My bad, y'all.
But.
That's right. I you set yourself up for that. I'm gonna let that rock. I'm gonna let that rock. But listen, man, that's just like and I know when we, you know, when you guys are here and we're talking to the audience, hear this, we're gonna have our critics like, oh, these old cats tripping. They sounded like, man, like they hating. Like, no, we trying to tell you the truth. That's not that's not hate. Yeah. You know what I mean?
A wise man said to me, man, you know, said to some people, you know, contrary to belief, there's a right way to do wrong, man. You know what I mean? There's a right way to do wrong, man. You know what I mean? And even in the wrong that we did as far as our time of rap music, there was some good things in it where it said, you know, go. Some people taught you to pray. Hammer told you to go pray. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, KRS once said you must learn. Mm-hmm. Lay down the whole thing down and all of the different things. And I was like, oh, let me go read this. Let me find out about that. Whatever case may be. This stuff right here, man, between you know, pumping this marijuana on these children, pumping this femininity on these children, pumping this bad music and these doggone reality TV shows, man. Yeah, these kids are dumb, man.
Yeah, at one point, you know, they was telling you like, you know, well, you a descendant of kings and queens, and now they run around calling themselves young slime. You know what I mean? You know what slime is it's just below any single cell organism, man. Like, you know what I mean? Just below this. Like,
and then you already got money. I'm assuming you got a few bucks. And to go to an event like that. Remember when black people went to events like this? Remember when the Grammys and you saw Diana Ross and you saw Smokey Robinson and all these people? They went there and they were dressed in the finest of finest. Right. You know what I mean? Now we got these I try to not say chicks and broads and stuff like that. You know, it's a bad thing to say. These young sisters, man, it's kind of crazy, man. They look like they dressing out a rainbow or something like that, man.
Forever 21.
Forever 21 or something like that. Going to these gala affairs and looking like trash, and then you're gonna spread out on the floor in front of all of these people, man. It's ridiculous, man.
You would never back in the day have seen Ruby D or Dorothy Dandridge or
you wouldn't have seen Lauren. You wouldn't have seen Lauren do it.
You sure enough wouldn't have seen Lauren do it.
You wouldn't have seen Lauren do it.
And truth be told, you wouldn't have seen Kim or Foxy do it either.
Not like that.
Well, Kim did the pasty thing.
She was sexy. She was sexy.
But still, bro. I mean,
it was sexy.
The pasty thing at that time was shocking. Now it's almost common. You know what I mean?
Yeah. She was pressing the envelope. She was sexy with it. It was sexy. She looked it good.
They did some ratchet stuff back then too.
Make no mistake.
Oh, well, let's understand this, because when you go back in the 50s and the 60s, there's always been some ratchet artists and different things like that, and they had their own lane. Let me tell you what the problem is now. All of it is ratchet.
Yeah, it's no. Everybody's doing the same thing.
All of it is ratchet. Visualism. You probably can't even make a female rap song if all of it ain't ratchet. You know what I mean? and again, I'm not a person that listens to this stuff, but again, if you just have social media and you're scrolling through your timelines or whatever like that, and sometimes you look at stuff and it'll, you know how we got friends who'll be like, yo, look at this is crazy, this is ridiculous. So you'll look at it and you'll be like, what in the world are we doing?
See, this is the thing, right? I think sometimes as men we get an unrealistic idea of what we want in a woman, right? Let's be real about it, right? But we expect a woman to be a woman. It's like today's women have taken this whole idea of we're equal to men, meaning that
you could talk about just your sexual experiences and
it's like the only part that you really want equality in is being able to be what you would consider promiscuous. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like you really don't want equality in hard labor. You don't want that. You know what I'm saying? You just want to be able to hit what you want to hit and have no repercussions about it. And drop the kids off with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The funny thing about it is, when I say funny, the sad thing about it is it's kind of like they're taking a masculine position by talking the way they talk, and then you look on the back end, all the men are taking feminine positions. You know what I mean? Most of these guys walk around looking like fairies. You know what I mean? Clothes all crazy or whatever like that. You know what I mean? Dresses, skirts, handbags, clutch bags. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So much so you see sprinkles of it in the hood.
But see, what is that? That's what
I was in Philly. I was in Philly. I seen a dude with a strap around it, with a strap purse around his shoulder, man. Small strap.
They call it a European carry-all, brother.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's a mad bag. Yeah, get the heck out of here, man.
God.
Heck out of here, man. I was in Wilmington. I seen a brother with a skirt on.
You sure it wasn't a kilt, brother?
Was it pink? Was it pink?
Huh?
Was it pink?
It was white and blue, man. It was like one of them Indian style joints.
Yeah, because I was driving in the city yesterday morning, and I seen this big 6'5" guy walking across the street with long hair and a long pink dress. And I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Oh man, it's sad.
We would be, because that's a whole other topic. I wanted to touch on that, until the situation with, the Philadelphia situation happened. But we're going to talk about that on another topic, man. Another particular show. You know what I'm talking about. All right. So with that being said, we're gonna get ready to sign off on this one, man. But we just telling y'all, when we say these things, we're saying it because it's out of love, man. Y'all gotta step your game up. Everybody can't get the title of queen doing stuff like this, folks.
Can't get the title king either, man.
Can't get the title king either, brother. You know what I mean? So, like school on a Sunday, no class. All right. The Only One Mic Podcast is available on all major platforms you stream your podcasts on. Also, check out our Only One Mic Podcast YouTube channel. Catch up on the past and current episodes. Please don't forget to rate the show and subscribe, and check us out on Instagram and Twitter at The Only One Mike P1, Facebook and LinkedIn, The Only One Mike Podcast. And you can email us at theonlyonemike00@gmail.com or call us at 302-367-7219 to have your comments or questions played on the show. And we thank you once again for your time, guys. All right? And we encourage you to speak the truth quietly and clearly and listen to others, even adult and ignorant, because they too have their story to tell. So until next time, please keep in mind, you know what, I'm going to stop right there. I like this quote that I heard from Langston Hughes. It said that if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But either way, you got to move. Peace.
Peace.